Hey guys, Nintendrew here, and today we're talking about bootleg game consoles. These things seem to be everywhere these days, from online retailers like Amazon to secondhand stores and flea markets, and they are notorious for buggy, unlicensed software, bizarre ROM hacks, and poorly translated homebrew titles. Personally, I love to collect all sorts of bootleg systems because I think they are as interesting as they are hilarious. So in this video, I'll show off some of my favorite bootleg systems, and we'll see what they're all about. Let's check it out! Alright, first up we've got this guy, the PvP Station Lite, which is pretty clearly a direct visual ripoff of the PSP. So let's take a look at this thing next to an actual PSP. So yeah, if you look at them side by side, this thing is clearly a direct ripoff of the PSP, even down to these fake shoulder buttons here in the corner. Now, knowing that this thing is a PSP ripoff and seeing the advertisements for it, you might think that the screen is this entire rectangle here, but hilariously it's just this little gray square here in the middle. It's just a very small screen compared to the original PSP. And if you're at all familiar with bootleg game systems, you probably have heard of the term Famiclone, and that is exactly what we're dealing with here. This is a clone of the NES hardware on a chip. And lucky for me, there is a small AV out port, so I'm gonna hook this up to the capture card, run the footage through here so you can see it, and we'll boot this up and try out some games. So yeah, this system has an Angry Birds theme, for whatever reason, and the flagship title here is Angry Bird 4. Additionally, it claims to have 900,000 games in one, but if you are at all familiar with bootleg systems, you're probably aware that that is a total fabrication. That's absolutely not true. This thing probably has maybe 50 games, and that's probably pretty generous. There's probably less than that repeated over and over to hit that 900,000 mark. So we'll go through these and we'll see how quickly they start repeating. So why not? Let's go ahead and try out Angry Bird 4 and see what we got going on. Okay, so Angry Birds 4 is a platformer, apparently. According to the Bootleg Games Wiki, this is apparently a ROM hack of the New Zealand story. So this is one of those cases of a poor ROM hack, I guess, to appeal to a wider audience or something like that. So alright, let's see what else we have on here. We've also got Angry Bird 3. Now this actually appears to be a weird homebrew approximation of the Angry Birds mobile game. So it looks like you can choose one of like 5 different angles to shoot your bird at, and then it's just kind of predetermined what happens when you shoot it at that angle. Not so much a game, more it looks like it's just kind of playing animations. But hey, I mean, it works, I guess, right? Somewhat. It really kind of blows my mind that somebody thought it was a good idea to spend time to build a homebrew NES version of Angry Birds. It's kind of crazy to me. So yeah, the rest of these titles are kind of a mismatch of unlicensed titles and poor ROM hacks and bad translations. And it looks like we've hit our repeat on page 4. We've got RA1 and Angry Bird 3, which are both present on the first page of games as well. So it looks like we've got actually about 30 titles on this system. And just to show you that it does indeed list those 900,000 times, I'm going to go backwards through the menu here and show you. Look at this. We've got the same 30 games now listed all the way up to number 900,000. Alright, let's try one of these actual NES games, one of these unlicensed titles. We'll go with Excitebike. Alright, yeah, works just about as well as you would expect. You know, it's an NES clone, so I wouldn't have really expected anything different, but I think some of the sounds may be a little bit off, but, I mean, otherwise it's fine. Alright, what else do we have? I'm interested in this Aladdin 3. Let's see what this is. Oh, okay, no title screen, we're playing. So, I'm a little kid on a magic carpet shooting bees, it looks like. Bees and birds. Oh, I'm dead. Okay. Oh, I'm back! Oh. I guess this is just like an arcade-style shooter. It doesn't seem like there's any goal you're going toward. You're just kind of shooting stuff until you die. I wonder if this is a ROM hack of something, or if this is just like their own homebrew title. Alright, what else we got? Crash 2. Is that supposed to be like Crash Bandicoot? What a beautiful title screen. Whoa. What is going on with the screen here? Okay, I see like a weird green version of Crash Bandicoot in the corner. And I guess I'm supposed to be a grossly humanoid version of Crash. Oh, here's a giant key. Give me that. Can I pick it up? No? I can crouch on it. Okay. Alright, I gotta look this up and see what this is. Okay, that makes sense. This is just like a ROM hack of the NES game Monster in My Pocket. Which, I guess that makes sense. Alright, here's one called Pika. Let's see what this is. Okay. From the screenshot, I'm gonna assume this is a puzzle game. Oh, is this just Tetris? It's just Tetris with Pikachu. Okay. Oh, it's like so hard to control though. I can't move one block at a time. It only moves like, oh, there we go. Oh, get in there, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think we've seen basically everything that the PvP Station's built-in titles have to offer, but funny enough, it actually comes with this little mini cartridge that supposedly has another 110,000 games on it, so let's go ahead and pop this in and see what it has to offer. Alright, 111,001, and we've got Angry Bird 2, so we're going backwards in the series now. Mario 9? I'm curious, let's see what Mario 9 is. Super Mario World 9. Seems legit. Okay, you can't jump on things to kill them. This has got to be a ROM hack of a popular NES game, right? Like, it seems familiar to me. Let me see if I can find any information about this. Okay, yeah, this is apparently a ROM hack of Adventure Island 2, with all of the main character sprites replaced with Mario, which explains why jumping on enemies doesn't kill them. And look at that beautiful cover art, too. Alright, let's see what else we have. Balloon fight. Oh no, this isn't a good sign. Look, already on page 2 we've got Angry Bird 2 again. Yeah, this looks like it's about 15 titles that are repeated over and over. Oh goodness. So it looks like not a whole lot more on the cartridge, but we've got a few more titles on here. We've got Balloon Fight, 10-Yard Fight, Ninja Turtles, but unfortunately, yeah, not a whole lot more with that second set of games on the cartridge, so let's go ahead and move on to the next console. Now this one's kind of interesting because this is the GB Station Lite, which is pretty apparently a ripoff of the Game Boy Advance SP. And so yeah, let's take a look at this thing. As you can see, it's almost identical to the Game Boy Advance SP's hardware layout, and you know, let's compare it to the original here. And yeah, they got pretty much every detail down, except for, of course, that this bootleg is quite a bit more flimsy and plasticky. So yeah, we've got the volume slider, although it's a little bit different here, but a volume slider, power button, and this one also, like the PvP, has its own little cartridge that comes with it that you can pop in for some extra games. But the biggest difference you'll notice is when you turn it on, we have yet another Famiclone. So let's go ahead and see what sort of games this Famiclone has on it. Alright, so this one claims to have just under 1 million games. We'll see how accurate that one is. Okay, I'm seeing a lot more unlicensed NES ports here, like we got Mega Man 5, Street Games, which appears to be just River City Ransom, Super Mario 3, let's see, we got Chip and Dale, Adventure Island, the original Super Mario Brothers. Let's go ahead and try out Super Mario 3 just to see how well it runs. Oh, okay, so we're missing the logo here. I guess that's maybe some effort to be to put it in, I guess, in a legal gray area, maybe? I don't know. Alright, appears to be working just like normal. Again, I think the sounds might be a little bit off, and the colors don't seem exactly right, but, you know, overall it works. Oh, here we got Angry Birds again! Alright. But yeah, most of these appear to be just unlicensed, like, normal NES games. Doesn't look like a whole lot of bootlegs. We've gotten up to about 100 titles before it started repeating, so it's at least got a good solid 100 games on here, which, I mean, in its own way, that's pretty good. Oh, we got Donkey Kong Jr. Math. You can't have an NES clone without that classic. 10-Yard Fight, Balloon Fight, the Gradius. So yeah, we got just the kind of the normal, the usual suspects, right? So let's pop in the cartridge and see what else we can find. Funny enough, this cartridge claims to have another nearly 900,000 games and has some art from New Super Mario Brothers on the front. So let's see if that's indicative of the content therein. Okay, looks like some more unlicensed NES games. We got Ninja Gaiden, Kung Fu, Bomberman, The original Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong 3, 3wtouchgameplayer.com. I want to say that wasn't in the original. Got Dig Dug. So yeah, as far as bootlegs go, this one seems to have less of the poor translations and bad ROM hacks, and seems to just have a bunch of unlicensed NES games, which I guess that's good. And already we've started to repeat right around game number 30. We've got Donkey Kong 3 is on like 5 pages in a row here. So yeah, okay, we got about 30 more games on this cartridge. So that's about it for the GB Station Lite. Let's keep moving. Okay, so this next system is based on the Game Boy Color, and I'm excited to show you guys because this one's actually pretty cool. This is the GB Boy Color, and as with the other handhelds, let's take a look at this next to the real deal. So here it is, the GB Boy Color. Now, first thing I noticed is that it's a little bit larger than the original Game Boy Color, both in height and in width, but otherwise it's a pretty close approximation. Of course, the design of the buttons on the front is a little bit different there. Overall, a pretty good copy, and you would be hard-pressed to tell the difference if you saw it from the other side of a room. We've got the same ports on the side, and same volume slider, same power slider over here. And what sets this bootleg system apart from the others is that this guy actually takes original cartridges. So this is a true Game Boy Color clone. It will play Game Boy Color and original Game Boy titles. And what better way to test a bootleg Game Boy than with a bootleg Game Boy game? So I've got Donkey Kong 5, The Journey of Over Time and Space. Let's pop it in and give it a go. There we go, how beautiful. Now at this point you've probably noticed the second big standout feature here, which is unlike the original, the GB Boy Color actually has a pretty nice backlit screen. Of course any sort of lighting will blow the authentic Game Boy screen out of the water, but this system screen is actually comparable to the screen of the more expensive Game Boy Advance SP101 model. And because of this familiar form factor and the much improved display, some collectors have started touting this as the best way to play original Game Boy games. The system I bought did also come with some games built in. These are the usual mix of unlicensed Nintendo titles, ROM hacks, and homebrew games. So I can't recommend you go out and buy a new product with unlicensed games because they are still producing these today. But as I understand it, there are newer versions of the GB Boy Color which just play games from the cartridge. They go for about 40 bucks, so definitely keep your eye out if you're interested. Okay guys, that about does it. I hope you've enjoyed this look at my collection of bootleg game systems. Please do let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see more of this sort of thing. I'm just scratching the surface. I have plenty more to show if you guys found it interesting. And of course, if you did, please consider subscribing to Nintendrew for all sorts of cool gaming content, and make sure to share the video with any friends who might find it interesting. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey guys, thanks again for checking out the video and for making it all the way to the end. Hope you enjoyed. As always, I've got links to all my social media in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, that sort of thing. And if you'd like to help out even more, I've got a link to my Patreon on the right side of your screen. Otherwise, I hope you'll look out for the next video. Take care.